Blood, loyalty, silence. Those were the codes of the street. And for one man, they became his entire religion. His name was Frank Abbandando. They called him the Dasher, the ice-cold hitman of Murder, Inc., the most terrifying crime syndicate America had ever seen. Brooklyn, 1910 seconds. A neighborhood crawling with poverty, immigrants, and ambition. Frank was born into it. Italian blood, raised in the rough streets where crime was the only ladder to success. He wasn't educated, but he was fast, ruthless, and had no conscience. By the 1930s, Murder, Incorporated became the beating heart of American underworld violence. A group of professional hitmen working under the National Crime Syndicate, a lethal arm created to enforce loyalty and silence across the Mafia empire. They operated out of Brownsville, Brooklyn. At the top were men like Abe Rellis, Louis Buckleter, and Albert Anastasia, and among their executioners stood Frank Abbandando, the smiling killer who turned murder into routine. He didn't kill out of rage. He killed for money, for control, for power, and he did it without blinking. Frank had a signature. He loved the knife. He was known for dashing in, slashing throats, and disappearing before the blood even hit the ground, earning him the nickname, the Dasher. He killed dozens, maybe hundreds. Victims were rivals, witnesses, or anyone who dared disobey the Mafia code. And when he wasn't killing, he lived like a local family man, blending perfectly into the Brooklyn crowd. That's what made him terrifying. He didn't look like a monster. He was the man next door. When the government finally came after Murder, Inc., cracks began to show. Abe Rellis, the canary who could sing but not fly, broke the sacred code of silence. When he mentioned Frank Abbandando, prosecutors listened. The chilling stories of how he stabbed men in cars, basements, and alleys made juries shiver. Frank was arrested. The once untouchable hitman now stood in court, stripped of power, watching his own sins spoken aloud. In 1941, justice caught up. Frank Abbandando was convicted of multiple murders. He laughed in court. He denied everything. But the evidence, the testimonies, and the blood trail couldn't be silenced. He was sentenced to death. And on February 19, 1942, at Sing Sing prison, the lights flickered. The smell of burning flesh filled the air. Frank, the Dasher, Abbandando, the coldest killer of Murder, Inc., was executed in the electric chair. Subscribe now to Mafia Crime Tales, where real stories of blood, betrayal, and silence come to life. Don't miss what they never wanted you to hear.